Have you ever wondered what it would be like to take all that confusion that's bubbling around in your mind and in your body and how you can actually create crystal clear clarity and precision? That's what the story that I want to tell you today, because I was working with a client recently in my Bank Your Brilliance session. And this is a session where I really want to help you nail your zone of genius, right? And it's so interesting because before I do this session with clients, I get you to fill out a little diagnostic document, right? Helps us to hit the ground running. So I'm not asking loads of questions that could easily be filled in a form, right? The purpose of this session is to help you get really clear on what your zone of genius is. And what I find, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because when I was doing this session last week with a client, we were having this conversation and I was throwing out, so I think this is what it is that you do. And this is, taking this client through my process. And she looked at me and she's like, oh my God, oh my goodness. She says, I have been fighting with this for the last 18 months and you've just nailed it in 20 minutes. I can't, she was literally just sitting there going, that was so simple. How did I not see that? Right. And I want you to know that if you've ever felt like that, you are not alone, right? You are absolutely not alone, because I can absolutely say, hand on heart, this is me too. I've been there too, right? See, the problem is your zone of genius is so genius that you can't see it, right? It's like, it's just there on the tip of your nose, but you can't see it. And it's so incredibly frustrating, right? But here's the thing, right? With a few choice questions, we can absolutely nail it, right? And that's what I want to share with you in this video, because there's a couple of things that you need to know about this, that every time you're swimming in that confusion, every time you're just marinating in it and saying to yourself, I don't know, I can't get to grips with this, I'm not clear, right? Every time you say that, you embed that more and more in your body, right? And so that becomes your default position. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, right? And so your brain is like, okay, Yasmin, you don't know. I'm going to give you loads more evidence to show you that you don't know. And you're like, oh, hello, this is not what I'm looking for. I need help. I need to be able to see what my zone of genius is. But when you're swimming in that, what's happening is you're like really building those wiring in your body and in your mind that you don't know, that you don't have that clarity, right? That's the energy that you're putting out there into the world. So people are looking at you going, not really sure what she does. Okay, we'll move on and find somebody who is like 100% aligned and really authentic. And what happens is you actually really stem the flow of money in your business, right? And nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that, right? Oh my God, I'm literally sabotaging myself because I'm not clear. I don't know. And if I don't know, that's the energy that I'm putting out there of confusion and just chaos. And that's what's being reflected to you. This is really important. Whatever's going on for you in your external world is a reflection of what's going on for you internally. And it's a really bitter pill to swallow. However, the good news is you can absolutely fix this, right? Because when I take my clients through the lens and the process and the framework that I've designed to help you get there much, much quicker, right? You're able to like see exactly what's in front of you with so much clarity. And do you know what? So much relief. So much relief. Because what I've noticed is people tend to overcomplicate. Hello, fellow overcomplicator here as well, right? And what we don't realize is that your abundance, your money, everything flows when you are really anchored in what it is that you do, right? And one of the questions that I always ask my clients when we're doing this work, right? And this is the question that I want you to ask today, right? I'm not going to overload you with a ton of stuff to do because that's not going to be helpful. If you're sitting in that confusion and that soup of chaos, you don't need a ton of stuff coming at you, right? I think we're agreed on that. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. And this is such a powerful question. And please don't worry if you don't have the answer right away. That's okay, right? Because this is a really big question, right? Here it is. You ready? Okay. What are you going to be known for? What do you want to be known for? Okay. Because the reality is you could be sitting there thinking, I can do this, 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 I can do, and you can do loads of things because I know you're amazing, right? You're so talented, you're multi-talented, you have so many skills, you have so many talents, you have so much experience, but that is actually working against you right now because you're trying to see how you can bring all of those things into a nice little neat package, and it doesn't work that way, right? So this is the question that I want to ask you today, and pop it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. What is it that you want to be known for? And I want you just to sit with that and let it marinate in your body, right? Don't try and force the answer. You know, I always get great ideas when I'm in the shower or where I'm out for my walk. So let it percolate. Be like a little coffee pot. You're going to percolate today and ask yourself that question, because this is where we start the process, right? When you start thinking about what is it that you want to be known for, then we start looking at all the things that you are actually really amazing at, your skills, your talents, your experience, your expertise, right? And we build from that place. But if you don't have a level of clarity about just that one simple question, then you are going to keep like swimming in that soup of chaos. If you want to find out more about how I can help you melt that confusion and create precision level clarity, then drop me a message below. I'll pop a link to you to book a call, and let's have that conversation. Just sit with that for today, and I'll see you again soon.